I'm Dustin,
And I'm Cassie.
and this is the Dustin and Cassie Show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to another live episode of the Dustin and Cassie Show. Episode 13. Uh oh.
Uh oh. Go back to bed.
Uh oh. Who's on already? Steven the hiker. What's up, Steven?
Hold on a second. I gotta go take care of a kid.
Uh oh. Is he half awake?
Hopefully they didn't see my booty.
We got two people watching. I didn't see anybody else who commented. So here I am, all by myself. It's me, Stephen Hill. Yeah, I knew it was you, Stephen. I saw a picture your mom posted today, and you look like you're smaller than your dad now. So props to that, man. You're looking good. Um, yes. So this week, I feel like I'm doing this all by myself. And so I'll talk about my stuff since I'm here. I got my new laptop, and dude, that thing is awesome. There'll be videos coming out, hopefully about the same time. Well, since this is live, it'll have to be tomorrow. I got Steven asked what kind of laptop. I got a Lenovo IdeaPad 330. It has a quad core AMD Ryzen 2500U processor. That's a 2 gigahertz processor. 8 gigs of RAM. It's a 15.6-inch screen, and it's awesome. I did a side-by-side comparison last night of it with the old laptop I was using. I had Hit Film Express. That's my video editing software. I had it installed on both of them, and we clicked them both at the same time to see how quickly they loaded up, and it's crazy. You'll have to wait and see the video. But like the new one, it loaded up, and we were starting to wonder if we actually double clicked on the other one. And then we went to go and check, and we seen the wheel was turning. So I'm like, and I'd already closed it out on the new laptop. So I reopened it again, and the new laptop loaded it twice before this laptop had it even loaded up. And then it failed to load when we started trying to start a new project. So Stephen Hamilton's watching, by the way. Oh, you see all that? Yeah. So are the Turners.
Sup,
Turners?
I can't see that to read it, so
she's got it pulled up.
I put it on my phone so I can actually read it.
So there's a little bit of lag there. That's kind of funny.
Hi guys.
So anyways, yeah, I got my new laptop. It's awesome. It's so thinking fast compared to the other one. So it's gonna be a game changer. So she will now have the laptop I have been using. That'll be now her home computer. I've got it set up where I took the SSD drive that was in our desktop. That the desktop pretty much crashed. Our desktop was 9 years old. I built it before Eli was born. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we had a 9-year-old desktop that was still functioning just fine, and all of a sudden it just gave up the ghost, that was one of the reasons why I decided to get what I got. One of the kittens just climbed into the dryer. That was our desktop had a AMD. I think it's just an AMD X2 processor.
Congrats on the new laptop.
Thank you, sir. It had an AMD X2 processor, and it's lasted this long. And so I thought, well, if I'm gonna get a laptop, I'm gonna get one with an AMD processor in it too, because I've had good fortune with them thus far. So
SSD is the way to go.
Yep, I can actually read it from there.
Okay, I can't see it.
So yeah, SSD. That was one of the very few upgrades that I did to our desktop. Originally, it came with a 360 gig hard drive, or when I built it, I had a 360 gig hard drive. And it took a couple, 2, 3, 4 years maybe, and I had that filled up. So then I bought a 2 terabyte hard drive, and then it wasn't like maybe 6 months or so later that 360 gig hard drive just started to fail. So I bought a 128 gig SSD drive, a Kingston SSD drive, and I put that in there and installed the OS on it, and it made our desktop, run awesome compared to what it did before. So much faster. And then, it finally gave up the ghost. So now that SSD drive is in the laptop she's going to be using, so it should make it faster than what it was before. So it's still a good machine for her to use for here at home, getting on the internet and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and the new one is going to be really good for me for the video editing. It's going to be so much faster, so much smoother. So this week, How'd our week go?
It was okay.
Just okay?
How'd your week go?
Fine. I kind of, this week working for me was a little different. I did something I don't normally do.
I talked him into it. I made him feel guilty.
I got home late on Friday, and so it was I had just normally I'm home by dark on Friday, but it was actually after dark by the time I got home on Friday. And so we had Saturday here, and then I
No,
had
we went somewhere, didn't we?
no, I thought
Oh,
we recorded live here last week, so we had to been here.
Yeah, but we had people here. Never mind.
So anyway, so
It's been a long week.
Sunday I didn't have to leave early because where I was going was only like 6 hours away. So my plan was to leave the house between like 1-2 o'clock. So Sunday we got up, and that's when we did the video of us running through the field in the snow and all that kind of stuff. And I got to doing things around the house, and the day got away from me. And the next thing I knew, it was like, oh, it's 4 o'clock. So she's like, well, she was like, you don't have to leave. You could technically leave tomorrow morning and still make it there on time and all this. And I'm like, but I don't want to get up that early and have to drive all the way to Siloam and then drive all the way over there. And because I was to get up at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And like, I don't want to do that. So, and I was tired. I was already like, man, I feel like taking a nap. I don't feel like going to work. So I just said, well, I'm going to go at least get my load, strap down, bring it back, and see how I feel after that. So went, got my load, got it strapped down. I was leaving Siloam, and it was 6 o'clock. I'm like, it's already getting dark. It's 6.5 hours over to where I got to go, and I do not feel like driving all the way there, and it's be 12:30 in the morning. I hate, driving that late, and then it means I can't leave until 10:30 the next day. So I'm like, decided I'd just take it back to Lowell. Came home for the night, got up the next morning at, what was it, 4 a.m. I think it was?
Something like that.
And took off and made my deliveries.
4:30, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Anyways, so then I did that one, and then I went to, where was that up there? Iowa. Went up to Iowa. That was to a military base in Iowa where they make explosives. And they've got they're doing some new water piping there at that facility. So that was a different ordeal because I had to get there, they had to check the truck over, I had to fill all this paperwork for a background check, wait for that to come through, and then go and park and wait for the guy to come over and unload part of the pipe in one place. Then we had to go to another place, but then he had to wait and make sure the snow was clear there because they got a bunch of snow up there. On my way to the military base, there was icy roads, and I come up on this accident that happened earlier that morning. It was on a curve, and on my side of the road there was an Estes truck, and that's there's a single axle truck, and it had two trailers. They're doubles, but they're a lot shorter trailers, so they're just a little bit longer than the trailer I have. Well, this truck, I'm guessing because of the accident ahead of him, he jackknifed, and both his trailers were off the road like this, and the back axle of his truck was just off of the pavement. He's facing, like the lane goes like this, and he's facing sideways like that. And then just past him on the other side, there had been a southbound truck that crossed over and tipped over onto the driver's side of his truck into the ditch on our side of the road. And the windshield was smashed out on it, and actually was in water where it was at because there was a deep ditch there. And so I go around that, did the stuff at the military base, and then came back down. And by the time the sun had been out all day long, and the roads were fine, because it's like you're going up there, I'm loaded, I get good traction, but going back empty, I don't have any weight on my drives. It's a lot easier to lose control. Which my truck actually has traction control on it, like what all the modern cars and stuff do. So if it just starts to spin, it cuts the power on it. So, but yeah, so it was fine coming back, and then I did a quick load to Oklahoma City and was back in Siloam Thursday night. And then he didn't have a load that I could turn in a day on Friday.
Get home that Thursday.
Yeah, I had enough time to make it to Siloam, and I had maybe 10 more minutes of drive time left. I'm like, well, I can't make it from Siloam to Lowell in 10 minutes. So I had to stay the night in Siloam, which kind of sucks, but it's a part of the job. But then Friday, he didn't have a load I could turn in back in a day, but they have these pipes that are on a big coil. And I found out the company's got a shipment of like 100, I think it is, 100 of these coils that's going to Venezuela. and they're making them all up. They're going to have them all done, and they're all going to get shipped down to Houston, put on a freighter, and hauled off to Venezuela. So they don't have enough room to store 100 of them on our yard, so they have another facility in town where they're storing them to. So every Friday, there's one driver, whoever gets back first, basically that's their job for the day, is moving those coils. So I got paid to do that. That was kind of fun. I never done that before. Made almost $200 for 6 hours worth of work for the day. So that was nice. And that was my week. So
But you still, by the end of the week, you still had.
yeah, I left on Monday. Technically, I left on Monday morning. And by Thursday, I still had almost just shy of 2,600 miles for 4 days worth of driving.
Just 400 miles short of what our goal is.
Yeah, I my goal is to get at least 3,000 miles a week. And after getting 3,700 miles the week before, it was okay if I didn't have 3,000 this week. So
that's a nice paycheck, though.
yeah, it was. It's nice when your paycheck has a comma in it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that was my week on the road. Nothing major. So, and tomorrow I am heading down to Schneider, Texas. I'm actually going back to that commercial dairy farm that I went to before. I actually got to go to Schneider and Lubbock. So, I'll probably leave tomorrow morning about 8, 9 o'clock, I think it is. I'll leave. So, and what'd you do here this week?
Well, I fasted all week.
No, Schneider is up closer to Lubbock, Stephen. It's up by Abilene.
So I started a fast on last Saturday night, and my goal was to get 7 to 8 days. What else did he say?
He said you're gonna be close. No, she fasted.
Sorry, I fasted. I didn't eat. I had just water from Saturday night till today. My goal was 7 to 8 days, and I made it to about like 3 or 4 hours before sundown tonight. So just almost made it the full, like, to the end of 7 days. And a good note, I lost 15 pounds.
Dang.
So that was pretty exciting. I'm sure that I'm going to gain most of it, or just a few pounds.
Don't speak that.
Well,
don't speak that. Don't speak the negative.
So, but I did have an interesting week because I've been out of alignment. My shoulders have kind of been like this. And you can tell when I'm standing up, like this side is a lot higher than that side. And so,
Kevin's watching. Hey, Kevin!
So I went to the chiropractor, and well, I went to a doctor. He's a chiropractor, but he also does other things. But he practices. He's basically like kind of like a naturopath.
Mama Pepper's watching too.
Hi. So anyways, I went to him on Thursday, and he kind of gave me some good news, not so good news. I've had 2 back surgeries.
The good news is you're alive.
I've had 2 back surgeries, and so he, in order to work on me, he had to do x-rays. And but first I should say, like, we've been praying a lot about different things with my health. When you fast, after a few days, you should have little to no inflammation because you aren't eating sugar and things. And so you're not taking anything that is
Papa Peppermaker. You haven't seen the video. He
Okay.
I love that song. 2 back surgery, they weren't back to back, were they?
No, they were a year and like 2 months apart. So, you shouldn't have inflammation, and I actually felt worse the longer it went. My body hurt more, and I know that can happen because you're detoxing and things like that. But like my bones hurt worse than they did before, and I didn't understand why that was. And so when I first walked into well, him and I have been praying about certain things. We want to have more kids, and I need to be healthy. And so just praying for answers of why things are the way that they are. And so I asked him earlier in the week, I said, okay, I said, how much is too much to make me feel better? And he basically is like, we'll do whatever we have to do to make you feel better. Like, I want you to be better, so I'll do whatever whatever I have to. And so I went to this doctor. My friend Gina had recommended him, and the first thing when we walk in, he has a verse like up high, like a scripture verse high, like right where everybody can see.
Philip and Janet watching. Philip just said, "What's up, neighbors?"
It said, I don't remember the exact words, but it basically was the Bible verse in Mark that said that talked about laying hands and healing the body, like laying hands and healing the sick.
Laying hands on the sick and
I don't remember exactly what the no, we don't sleep normal hours.
Oh, is we tree on it about that? Don't any of you people sleep normal hours? It's the weekend. No.
So that was confirmation number one that I should be there, because I don't want just anybody trying to help me. I want somebody who like believes in scripture. And so that was like a huge thing. I was like, okay, there's confirmation number one. And so we went into the room, and I actually saw the doctor that runs the clinic, and not like a PA of his or anything like that. And so
that's better than a PU.
I'm never gonna get this story out.
That was a Papa Pepper joke right there. He would have said something like that.
So I had Eli with me, and my friend Gina was with me because I didn't really want to go by myself. And so he asked me, what are we here for? And I said that I needed to be aligned, and that we were also there because Gina had recommended him for fertility stuff, and he asked if I'd had my thyroid checked, and I said no. I said I actually have never had my hormones checked or anything. And so he's like, okay, well, we need to check your thyroid. And then I said, I have PCOS. And he's
polycystic ovarian syndrome, for those who don't know.
And he said, okay, he says, my wife and I lost our 13-week-old baby because of PCOS. And then he went on to explain like how the eggs don't properly attach to the uterus and so on, whatever. But that was confirmation number two for me, because one, he knew what PCOS was and he understood it. And confirmation number three was the fact that he said we lost our 13-week-old baby, and with all of the crap going on this week with New York and the abortion crap there, it was like he didn't say, well, we had a miscarriage or we lost. He said we lost our 13-week-old baby, and so that like resonated with me. I'm like, okay, like I felt completely comfortable with this guy. And so somebody's pulling up the driveway. So it was pretty. So it was pretty great, anyways, and he started to work on me, and I told him that I had the 2 back surgeries, and so he said, oh, we got to stop, we need to do x-rays. And so he took me back to do an x-ray.
Some dude's trying to look at my wife's insides.
He's like, we need to... Well, basically, part of the reason that I've been in so much pain
Stephen asked if this is recent. Is what recent,
yes,
Stephen?
Yes, it was Thursday.
It was Thursday, yeah.
It was Thursday.
The chiropractor visit.
And so he said that my spine is basically in the shape of an S, and that my neck, it's supposed to be like this way. It's supposed to be like this way, facing that way, and instead it's the opposite. It's like this. And so it's pushing out here, and it's pushing my thyroid out, and it's pushing my throat out. So instead of my throat going like straight down, it's going like this. And he said, I shouldn't see your thyroid, but I see your thyroid. And so basically my whole spine, my body is all whacked out. And so he's going to work on that and try to get me.
I've been trying to get her straightened out for 13 years, and I haven't been successful yet.
Anyways,
I love you.
so we went back to the room, and he worked on me some more. And then he said, I really want to do this thyroid test. I want you to do the thyroid testing. And so, but insurance will not pay for it. And so this is how much it is. And it's not cheap. It was for just the thyroid test, it was $341. But most doctors only test for two issues.
Two blood panels.
Yes,
Or
two. However
things.
it works. They only do 2 tests for thyroid, and he does 8. So, and he said something about that the doctors will compare it to an 18-year-old instead of comparing it to someone your age, and what's going on, like you, like close to your age and a female and stuff like that. They compare it just straight to it.
Philip, have Gina send it to her so she can see it on her phone. Because we're recording from my phone. She said.
Okay, I have it, but I couldn't.
She sent a picture of the.
Okay.
Of the verse.
So it's
Can you read that?
Yeah. So the verse said, "They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall get well." I can't read the words out.
Mark 5:3. I'm having a hard time reading it too. That part's.
Yeah, that part's a little blurry.
Yeah, that part's. Or maybe it's 15:2. I don't know. Somebody can look it up now that they've got it.
Yeah. So